Welcome and thank you for joining us today for a very special Primerica Live as we head into the final week of the month of January 2025. You know, we've got to close this first month of the year strong. We've got to grow and we've got to make sure we build an early lead that can prepare the way for our most successful year ever at Primerica. I'm going to share some important information with you to kick off the show, and then we're going to a very special segment as we have some of Primerica's greatest leaders and greatest crusaders focused on our crusade to become titans of term and dominate the life insurance industry during the decade of dominance. That segment's going to be hosted by the great Steve Madison, our Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for Life Insurance, and we're going to be joined by an all-star slate of field leaders. You're going to be hearing from Yuli Curiel, Damirra Bolden, and the great Bill Orender. It's going to be a special program. Don't go anywhere. But I want to kick off today's show with some special recognition as we recognize the income milestones that are being achieved. You know how it works at Primerica as you head in to the back half of the month. People are tracking their rolling 12-month cash, and it all comes in the final couple of weeks of the month. And I'm telling you, the avalanche has started. The tidal wave has started. Just look at what we've accomplished in the last 2 weeks, starting with 7 brand new $100,000 earners at Primerica. Let's extend special congratulations to Olga Maza, Joynice Duran, Michael and Tona Seeds, Gary Warazit, Yotan and Itzel Carrillo, Guy and Joni Lucero, and Ryan and Steph Daniels. That's 7 new $100,000 earners at Primerica in the last 2 weeks. Of course, last Monday we were off for the Martin Luther King observance holiday. So that's just in 2 weeks, 7 brand new $100,000, and we'll probably double or triple that number in the next week as we head into the final week of the month. Let's look at our $200,000 earners. Now look at this, 11 new first-time $200,000 earners at Primerica in the last 14 days. Congratulations to Denise and Paul Bertrand, Chris and Angela Meager, Christopher and Adrian Lucina, Teresa and Jude Anton, Danny and Barbie Podboy Garcia, Greg and Dana Wynn, Clarette Cabrera, Jim and Dean Lamont, Jeff Naval, Julio Perez and Will Marie Montez, and Bart Pritchett. That's amazing. 11 new $200,000 earners. That's insane how fast incomes are growing at Primerica. 3 new $300,000 full owners at Primerica since Monday before last. Congratulations go out to Michelle and Janine DuPont, Vanessa and Peterson Alcide, and David and Haley Rice. And of course, you're seeing a lot of those Maple Leafs down in the corner. We have just tons of incomes exploding in Canada, and that's the reason you're seeing so many Canadians. Look at this, 3 new $400,000 earners since we were last together. Congratulations to Kelly and Lee Kirkpatrick, Martin and Denise Flores, and Brian Cars. And then, of course, we move on to $500,000 earners. I love that milestone. They've got what I call the hard half of being $1 million earners done. 3 brand new $500,000 earners at Primerica. Congratulations to Eldon and Larson, Sean and Michelle Murray, and Samir Qureshi, our newest $500,000 earners. Then moving up to $600,000 in personal cash flow in the last 12 months. Again, another great Canadian. Congratulations to Danielle Demare and Mylene Lassard for getting the 6th diamond and becoming our newest $600,000 earners. Then we jump to the 8th diamond, another Canadian couple from Alberta, the great Gary and Marie Martin, adding the 8th diamond from their original code number. When you put in their credit from their own codes, they're this close to becoming our next $1 million earners. So excited for Gary and Marie. At the 9th diamond, we've got Fatima Gomez and Feliz Mello adding the 9th diamond and queuing up to be $1 million earners as well. I was just down with this great team with Willie and Lorraine in Toronto on the weekend, and I'm telling you, everybody was talking about when they're going to become $1 million earners, and they're going to be coming out of that organization one after another for the next 6 months, I can tell you. Then at the 11th diamond on their original code, the great Jim and Trish Bone. Congratulations to Jim and Trish for continuing to grow that original code while also growing a number of own codes. And then at 19 diamonds, $1.9 million in cash flow in the last 12 months, the great Giancarlo and Joy Giagoni, also from Canada, now on the verge of becoming the newest $2 million earners at Primerica. Absolutely amazing what's happening. We have the momentum, but we need to close this month strong. So let's talk about what it takes to close out. Leaders building leaders strong. We've got to compete. We got to work like crazy. We got to take advantage of the incentives that are in place. Of course, the biggest incentive of all is the greatest value in financial services. The $99 IBA licensing fee is $49 through the rest of the month. So through month end, $49 IBA. I will tell you, it's not going to be extended. If you want to take advantage of this, you got to get it done by month end. You got a week left. So make sure that you focus on maximize your recruiting momentum right now with the $49 IBA. In addition, there's other great news for recruiters and recruits to enjoy. There's extra credit for the field training bonus. You know, you can bank an extra $50 for logging into the app quickly, $100 for completing licensing class quickly. Make sure that you're talking to your recruits about a fast start. And then, of course, we're in the third month right now of one of our 2 leadership events, Breakaway to the Bay. We're in the third month of the contest. You know all the dates. You see those. We show those to you almost every week. It's a contest to compete for. But what you need to know in Leaders Building Leaders January is there's an opportunity to get extra builders production points. So as we look at this next slide, this is the formula that we use every month. It never changes. But you'll notice there's a red box, a red rectangle around when you qualify at your level and play up to the next level, you get an extra 75,000 builders production points each time. Well, what's happening that's unique this month is the opportunity to double each of those 275,000, which is a total of 150, to 300,000. So here's what happens. This month, when you qualify and play up, instead of getting 75,000 each, you're going to get 150,000 each for a total of 300,000 when you both qualify and play up. That can move you a gigantic number of slots in the contest. If you said, I've been falling behind, I haven't quite been on track to qualify, this is your chance to leap up and be a qualifier. If you're already qualifying, this is your chance to move way up, move up into recognition territory, lock your place in, take advantage of that opportunity. And then also in January, there's an opportunity to earn a Leaders Building Leaders patch, and we'll be talking about what those patches go on as we get closer and closer to the San Diego event. But you can get a Leaders Building Leaders patch by focusing on becoming a leader, earning your next promotion at district leader above, or being the first license upline of someone who does. Either way, you be a leader or you build a leader, you can qualify for a patch. You want one of those. And by the way, we've already had 2,300 leaders that have qualified for a patch, and almost 3,000 have already qualified for those extra builders production points I was talking about a while ago. So folks, it's happening. It's real. Sometimes I think people hear our incentives and they go, it's impossible to do that. I don't think, and we got thousands of people that are making that happen. That means you can too. And then, of course, our other leadership event, Reach for the Peak, the opportunity to join great securities leaders at Whistler. That's also in its third month. Don't forget about that. There's so much going on that you can use to build excitement in your team. That's why we do incentives, so you as a leader can grab those announcements and build extra excitement in your team as people go out and build a great Primerica business that can change the course of history for their family. Grab your calendars real quick, because there are a couple of items I want to make sure you've got in your calendars. Don't miss these dates. First of all, coming up this Friday, our teammates in Canada have got a top of the quarter with PFSL broadcast, so make sure that you plug into that. It's on demand, so you can pick it up anytime and watch on Friday. Then 1 week from today, we've got another great Primerica Live to kick off your week next week on Monday, February the 3rd at 12 noon. We've got the great Glenn and Zio Lee and Angel Miranda joining us. So that's focusing on that ultra successful hierarchy. You don't want to miss that. And then also next Monday, it's month end. January month end takes place 1 week from today, Monday, February the 3rd at 12 midnight Eastern time. Make sure that you're putting everything we just talked about in play to take advantage of that opportunity. Then the very next day, on Tuesday, February the 4th, that's when we'll kick off the month of February on an RVP locker room open to RVPs only. So make sure you got all that stuff on your calendar. Now, with all that said, went through that, lightning speed. Let's talk about the special focus of today's broadcast. Sometimes as a leader, you're going to need to observe the situation. You're going to need to call a play. And that's what we did at the senior leadership meeting as we were looking at the opportunities that lie before us in 2025. It became apparent that the biggest opportunity we have to move production is in the life insurance part of our business. You put together our all-time record year in 2024, $122 billion of face amount issued. the largest year in our history, 48 years. Okay, that was the biggest one ever. But as we look at what we're capable of, as we look at the need around us, as we look at the opportunity, I believe we can go all the way from $122 billion to $150 billion in 1 year. So we set that goal, $150 billion of new face amount issued. That's 23% growth in a single year. Now, I got to tell you, that's absolutely insane. For any CEO of a public company to stand up here and go, hey, we think we've got the opportunity, if we do our very best, to grow a line of business by 23% in a year, I mean, that's nutty. Why do we think we can do that now? What did we see on the field that led us to call this audible and say we can do this right now? Well, here are the answers to that question. First of all, there's a record number of uninsured and underinsured families in the United States and Canada today. Did you know there are fewer life insurance companies and life insurance policies in force today than there were when this company was founded in 1977? The opportunity has actually grown while we've been setting records each and every year. It's mind-boggling. Today there's an estimated $12 trillion, with a T, trillion dollars of needed life insurance that's not in force that should be to protect families. We've almost got $1 trillion in force. We're proud of that, but there's 12 more trillion that's not in force. Look at that opportunity. The second reason is the life insurance that's being sold is the absolutely worst value for consumers in the history of the industry. Now look, I've been around this thing 44 years. I remember when it was whole life. Then came universal life. Then came variable life. Then came variable universal life. But I can tell you what's being sold today, indexed universal life, is absolutely the worst product that the life insurance industry's ever devised. So you've got a mass of the market out there that doesn't have it, and then you've got another mass of the market that has absolutely the wrong kind, and it needs to be fixed, and that's what we do best. The crusade is alive. Look at the third bullet. The product that we have today, NextGen, is absolutely the best life insurance product on the market. It's the best term life insurance on the market, which makes it the best life insurance. You look at it price, you look at it convenience, you look at flexibility, you look at ability to renew it. It doesn't matter what you look at, best in the industry. We're taking that into a market where the need is greater than ever. And the final bullet is, last year, we grew our investments business by 30%. Why can't we grow our insurance business by 23% this year, or 25%, or 30%, or even more? And so I know it sounds crazy, but listen to this. We're 3 weeks into the year, 3 weeks into the month of January. We checked this morning. The team did a great job of finding this information this morning. Already in January, with a week left in the month, 600 Primerica-based shops have already grown by more than 25% this year in their premium. And think about it, the last week of the month is where most of the production is done. You know how that works if you've been around Primerica. But already 600 plus base shops have grown by 25% or more. If 600 can do it, okay, then 3,600 can do it. Then 6,500 can do it, okay? We got about 6,500 RVP-based shops. 600 of them have already grown by 25% with a week left in the first. It's absolutely doable if we get focused, and we've got exactly what you need to understand that, because the rest of this show today, hosted by Steve Madison, and as I mentioned to you, the great leaders that you see coming up on the screen right now, Yuli Curiel, Damirra Bolden, and the great Bill Orender, are going to share with you exactly what we need to know to make sure that we attack this goal running wide open in 2025. We got a quick video break, then we'll be coming back to Steve after the video.
Feel the need to succeed. Break away from the rest of the fleet and qualify for Primerica's next Elite Leadership event in San Diego, California. Join other Primerica leaders at the brand new Gaylord Pacific Resort and Convention Center in Chula Vista, California. Views span from the incomparable San Diego Bay to the Chula Vista Marina on the Pacific Ocean. Primerica leaders like you will be among the first to experience all that this incomparable new SoCal resort has to offer. You'll find a variety of delicious dining options, an award-winning spa, exciting water park, family-friendly activities, and more. Be among the best of the best when you take in high-energy general sessions, experience thrilling on-stage recognition, and hear from legends who can help you soar to new heights. You're sure to leave inspired and ready to take flight when you get home. Mach speeds aren't necessary to get downtown. It's only minutes away. From nearby beaches for swimming in the surf to taking in the nearby sights and family fun, Southern California is renowned for its sunny days and temperate climate, making this the perfect spot to enjoy an endless summer while you rub elbows with the top leaders in Primerica. Primerica leadership events are special, but nothing compares to helping families learn how to make the most of their money while building an amazing future for you and your family. Are you ready to launch your business into the stratosphere? It's time to break away to the Bay.
Everybody, I am so grateful to join you today. I'm honored to be able to represent a number of different people here at home office that is dedicated for your success and the success of our clients that are here, from operations, legal, marketing. All of us here at One Primerica Parkway and in Canada and New York are here to make sure you and your success as we move forward. You know, I'm excited to be able to host today talking to you about what it means to be a life champion. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that we've had this idea of being a life champion for over about 10 years now. And to break it down real quick, Life Champion really has two core pieces to it. The first part of being a life champion is somebody who is actually championing the cause of helping families with life insurance. But the second definition, the second piece of that life champion idea is the idea of becoming a champion in your own life. And man, we are excited as a home office to partner with you to be able to help both of those things come together, helping more families become championed and taking care of their life insurance needs, but also you to become a champion in your own life. But every year, we have a different campaign. Every year we say, what is needed? What is the message that we need to go out and push with? And so in 2025, our team came together. They started coming up with the ideas, listening and going through the ideation session. And it was John Foppe, our regional sales manager from here in the Southeast, who said it first. He said, we need to become titans of term. And so for 2025, the idea of being a titan of term is our goal, is our campaign for the year. And so I love that idea. I love that the logo, but you see the team said if we're going to be a titan of term though, we need to define it, and there needs to be something a little bit more, a little bit more physical with it and what the logo looked like. And so here's what the team did, is they came up and said, here's the definition of what it means to be a titan. First thing is one that is gigantic in size or power, one that stands out for greatness or of achievement, a person or thing of very strength, intellect, or importance. Man, I like that. I love that logo that's on there as well for 2025. The team is out there excited about being a titan of term. And see, I love that definition when it says one is gigantic in size. You see, I would argue right now, we've already shown as a Salesforce size that we're gigantic in size. You see, I don't know of any other organization that has 151,000 licensed agents that's out there. But it also said in that definition, it says gigantic in size or power. You see, what I would love to do is change that or to an and for us. That we would be gigantic not in just size, but also in our power. You see, I believe 2025 is the year that we need to showcase not just the size of our organization, but its strength and power in our organization. It's time for the world to see what 151,000 licensed agents can do out there in the public. And so with that, so the idea of what are we capable of? You see, Glenn challenged us at the senior leadership meeting that what are we capable of? And he just talked about it again, about this idea of 150 billion of life face amount issued. You see, he believes that's our capability. He looks at that number and said, I think we can get there. And I'm a simple kind of guy. I went back and I said, well, we got 151,000 life licensed agents, and Glenn's calling a play to be able to get to 150 billion. Well, if you do the simple math on it, that means for every licensed agent, it's just $1 million worth of issued face amount. Now, our average policy size is about $250,000 of issued face amount. That means for every licensed agent this year, we would be challenging you to do 4, 5, 6 policies, and if all of us showed our strength as a company, we'd crush that 150 billion of issued face. But I think there's more than that. I think that 150 is only the beginning, because if you've been paying attention to the scoreboards of the last couple of years, what it shows you is that the last couple of years, the #1 term insurance provider, it was about 146,000 of issued face that's out there. So if we did our 150, it put us on track to regain the Titan of Term logo that we truly are. So today, the entire show is focused on life insurance. The entire show is focused on us becoming that Titan of Term that we know we are. And so we had 3 field leaders, each with 3 different topics, each with a different topic for you to be able to take away and to put into your business. So we're going to talk today about the head, the hustle, and the heart about being a Titan. You see, at first, we're going to talk about making sure you get your head right. We want to make sure that you have the training, the knowledge, the tools you need to be able to go out there and help as many families as possible. You see, I'm excited to be able to talk to you today about making sure you're taking advantage of all the training and materials that is on POL. As of this afternoon, we're going to have even more training material. We have a brand new video segment, the 4 winning plays. Michael Chafin's going to put it out there. We anticipate it being on out there later today, talking to you about the 4 winning plays when you sit with a family who has no life insurance or group life insurance, cash value, or term. Those videos will help you step by step, knowing how to have each one of those different conversations. But also there's more videos out there covering how do I turn around and overcome a whole life policy, a universal, index universal, variable universal, all those policies Glenn just talked about. That video training is out there. But even if you can't get to that training, you got your regional sales marketing team that is out there to support you in every step of the way to be able to make sure you have what you need. And so that is what we want to be able to make sure you have, but that's just from home office. I'm excited that Yuli is going to come in and deliver a message talking to you, making sure she's got all the pieces that you need to have a system in place to make sure you're training and developing the team of the future. Next, we're going to have the hustle. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear about the idea of talking about Titans, you start hearing about hustle. I don't know why, but football comes to mind. It could be because my Philadelphia Eagles won last night, and we got to play the refs at the Super Bowl. I mean, the Chiefs, we're going to have to play at the Super Bowl. And so we're going to go out there, and we're going to be able to do it. But the Titans bringing a hustle idea is we want to make sure you're running all the plays. You see, Glenn talked about we called the play. But are you opening up your playbook to get to every different play available for you to help as many families as possible? You see, the biggest play you could be leveraging is the field training bonus. You see, this is a revolutionary business tool. You should be maximizing that field training bonus that is out there. You see, I've been around this company for over 30 years, having an opportunity to watch, and one of the keys of our business is being able to help brand new associates go out there and help and showcase what we get to do. Are you maximizing that field training business opportunity right there? The next is a new life licensed agents. You see, we had more life licensed agents last year than we've ever had in a single year. But how productive are you helping your new guys to get out there across the kitchen table? We designed the Life Training Hub to specifically focus in on helping those newly licensed agents become competent and competitive out there, going out there and helping families. Make sure you're using that Life Training Hub. Make sure you're using that tools. Make sure you're taking the quizzes, seeing all the tools that are available out there. The other one that I would challenge you is this, is that are you using this, a child rider report? It sounds simple. I actually had Glenn had that conversation at the senior leadership meeting, talking to RVPs, making sure you're just getting active. Do your one. Make sure you're getting active every given month. And I had a number of conversations on the flight back and the drive back from senior leadership meeting, talking to RVPs, and I said, are you using your child rider report? And they looked at me, and it was probably a securities producer by and large. And I said, this is a huge opportunity for you. Go pull that child rider report. Not only go out and reach out to that individual to make sure they get the coverage they need. I said, but if you're a securities producer, you have to realize that's the beneficiary of the assets that your client already has, the parents have. You want to make sure you already build a relationship with them. Also, you have to realize that 25-year-old, they might be looking for a new career opportunity. You see, if you didn't know this, 25% of our RVPs joined the business before they were age 25. That age is the perfect age for them to turn around and realize, hey, I want to do something big with my life. I just need to find a company that I'm willing to go fight with or fight for to be able to go do something big. And so we're going to have Damirra Bolden come on, though, and cover nobody better to talk about the hustle, making sure you're running all the plays that you need to, making sure you know how to fill your calendar, pack your agenda to make sure you're helping as many clients as possible. And the last part, though, we're going to talk about the heart. You see, I don't know what happens, but something magical happens when you get your heart involved. You see, I stand here today because it wasn't just a logical idea to come into Primerica. It was emotional. It was a heart-driven mission. You see, my grandfather was the one who sold a universal life policies back in the 80s, and that's why I stand here today, that my family's heart was captivated in doing what was right for families, was getting involved. And see, I don't know about you, but what Glenn talked about is that the need is bigger today than ever before. I was just looking at the ACLI fact book online today, and it was showing you last year that close to 6 million cash value policies were sold just in the last calendar year. And it also said inside that ACLI fact book, it said 138 billion were in cash value loans, 138 billion of cash value loans. Teammates, the need is greater than ever before. And I think Bill Orender is the person of all people to talk to you what it means to be a heart of a champion to help you with that. But kicking it off next, I get the honor and opportunity to introduce the incredible Yuli Curiel, who's been in business since 2019, $500,000 earner. But listen to this, running an average base shop size of over $100,000, averaged 26 licenses per month last year. Man, she is building a system not just for the Titans of today, but for the Titans of the future. Take it away, Yuli.
Good morning, Primerica. Hope you guys are super excited about this call. It's such an honor for me to be here and talk about the future. And of course, I want to thank God. I'm here representing the Baragon hierarchy. I want to thank my team, the NBA firm, Curiel hierarchy, my husband, of course, and then Steve. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here. And Hope, Glenn, and Bobby. I mean, you guys are amazing. Of course, I want to thank Primerica. Primerica gave me an opportunity when I was 21 years old. I'm 26 now, so I've been growing in this industry, and it's just so awesome because, you know, they gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. I was fresh out of college, and I came in here, and, you know, the first thing I understood early on is the crusade, and that's really the foundation of everything. And why, you know, do we have the success? And because I understood that. So when we have newly licensed agents, you know, that's the first thing we instill is the crusade, that we are here to help families, that you make money by helping families and doing the right thing 100% of the time. And that will give people, it gave me a sense of purpose, and it gives my team a sense of purpose as well. And, you know, you have to really, as a leader, whatever you focus on is going to grow. And the thing that we focus on is we want to develop competent leaders. We want to develop trainers. We want to develop people that know what to do. So really the idea is, you know, we have this newly licensed agent. How can we get them from being a newly licensed agent to becoming a productive leader? Somebody who brings in results, somebody who does 10 by 10, somebody who eventually, man, they just become your top player. And it's so awesome to see that growth, because I have leaders on my team where they came in 18 years old. Now, you know, they're 20 years old, Devin and Luca, and, you know, they have 200 licensed agents, but they're developing the same thing of training principles. And so you have to realize that what you do right now is going to reflect in your business 3 months from now. So if you want to run a big base shop, it's recruiting big, it's licensing big, but really, if you are not turning your leaders into competent trainers, you're not going to have a great foundational business that'll always build a legacy in the future. And for us, I mean, if you know Yuli, you know she loves systems, and anything that she does, she has systems in place, and we are always making changes, and you're going to have to make adjustments. You're going to have to be checking up on your business every month, every 3 weeks, every week, like what's going on? What do I need to change? What do I need to add? And so that's what we do. And something that we have like foundational is we have a training 2 times a week here at the office in person, and we have trainings on Zoom where we teach our people that are out of state and even locals, maybe a little bit further away, but we make it easily accessible to know how to do the business. And one of the things that we do as well is we develop weekly master classes where we go over. Really, guys, it's the fundamentals. So in these classes, it's like, think of it like a boot camp. We just pack all the information into one, and we usually like to get our newly licensed agents into something like this so that they can really get off to a fast start. But I think the greatest thing I can say is that Primerica is so simple. I think sometimes we try to overcomplicate it, but it is so simple. It's recruiting, training, and developing. Like, you learn the business, and now you got to teach other people to do the same thing. You can't keep all that information to yourself. I mean, it's too good to just keep it to yourself. So having systems in place is going to provide clarity. It's going to provide consistency. It's going to allow your new agents to have something to follow. You don't want your agents to be super confused. You want to know exactly what you need to do. And Primerica already has all of those fundamentals on POL. Like, how amazing is that? That there's training videos for you so that you can get yourself and your people good as well. But a big thing, guys, is competence. So we focus on how competent are you over the kitchen table. So the things that we really focus on when it comes to training specifically and how to build competence is, do you know how to book appointments, right? These are fundamentals. Do you know how to book appointments? Do you know how to conduct a great orientation? Because yes, you can know how to deliver a great KT presentation, but you have to know how to book appointments. You have to know how to create activity. So a great KT presentation, we go over how to close a life insurance, just that script, how to overcome objections, how to close with investments. We go over cash value, the heart behind the crusade, right? I explain to my people, this is why Primerica started, to correct the injustices in the life insurance industry. So I need to instill that. I need them to understand that, because when they go out in the field, they need to have a passion for what we do. They need to understand that they're there to help this family, and overall they're going to become a master field trainer. And then again, guys, it's that duplication, is when you become a master field trainer, now you got to teach other people to do the same thing. If you are getting licensed agents in your organization, you want to make sure they know what they're doing. You want to make sure that they're making money, right? We make money from helping families. So you want to make sure that they understand that. And something for us is that we have an amazing culture where it's you're training and we're getting people good, but you got to bring in the results. So for me, I personally invest into my new agents. I invest my time. We do competitions, but really I want to build confidence in them. I want to motivate them. They can reach me at any time. I'm an RVP, but I'm accessible to them at any time. They'll call me after a KT. This happened, this happened, this happened. I go over best practices, or hey, I'm dealing with this, or they have this kind of policy, and they know that they can reach me so that I can help them go for that close. So you have to be accessible to your people. We got to share the knowledge that we've gotten over time. So see, success is going to be a combination of just that personal attention that you have with your team, but then also the structured systems. If you have those two things in place where you're teaching people how to get good, you're going to have well-rounded agents. And we want to get our people good at Primerica, and we want to get them to get results. And I'm just, honestly, guys, I'm just so grateful. I mean, Glenn called a play 150 billion in force, and I'll tell you right now, my team is going to commit to that goal. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep growing. And we know this business, it's predictable. If you are licensing people, you're recruiting and you're licensing people, your base shop is going to grow, your premium is going to grow. So you got to ask yourself what part, because leaders say they're going to give a big part of what the leader plays or what the leader calls. So you got to tell your team, gather up your team, like, what is it that we're going to do to make sure that Primerica hits that goal? And you have to remember, this isn't just about us. We're creating an impact in the world. Primerica is changing lives day by day by day. And you just have to be so proud of being part of this crusade, so part of being part of this great company that is constantly changing lives, just like it changed my life. So I'm so grateful, and I get to introduce the next speaker, guys. She is a Virginia Carter Award winner, near-term $600,000 earner. I mean, she is just killing it, and she's going to go over the hustle, how to start getting results right now. So help me welcome up the amazing Damirra Bolden.
Thank you, Yuli, for that amazing introduction. Happy New Year, Primerica, right? Happy 2025. I'm so excited. This year has started off in a blaze, and I know that we're going to continue to go up from here. But first off, I want to take a second and just thank God for the opportunity. As I've always shared, I never take for granted when I have the opportunity to come before you all. I thank God for this amazing company that has totally transformed my life. I thank God for my amazing partner, Damirra Bolden. And then I thank God for my team, the Bold Ones, and want to give a special shout out to my great lineage, Mike and Regina Evans, Jeff and Lolita Mallard, and Nika and Janelle, representing the prosperous dynasty. Man, I have great shoes to fill, and I thank God for them and the example. So I'm excited, first of all, to be considered a titan, right? I looked it up, Steve. I looked up the definition as well, and I'm like, a titan. Great, go get her, right? And I am honored to talk about the hustle and bustle part of this game. You know, my husband and I, we are known as what? The Super Bowl couple. So how fitting is it for us to talk about being titans of term? We were recruited February 2018 at our Super Bowl party. Yes, my sister, who was being coachable to Coach Mika, was overcoachable, decided to interrupt our Super Bowl party and bring Mika Saunders into our home. Now, my husband wasn't excited about her coming into a home, interrupting the Super Bowl party, but Mika stayed there until about 1 o'clock in the morning and got those IBAs. She told us her personal story. We joined the business to support our sister, and now our lives have been transformed. So I guess my husband is probably excited now that she did come into our home on Super Bowl. But again, to be called a titan in this industry, to be called a titan of term with this amazing company is truly an honor. So I'm going to talk to you all about the hustle and bustle, the day-to-day. What are we doing? What are we talking about? What plays are we running? Well, first off, you know that the crusade is the crusade. You have to get in front of families, guys. Working Primerica is what? Scheduling appointments and going on appointments. You have to hit the field. So as a coach, I'm just going to open up my playbook, as Steve talked about earlier, and tell you some of the plays that we are running on a day-to-day basis. And guess what the first one is? Recruiting. Absolutely. Everything starts with recruiting, guys. You cannot get away from that. Recruiting leads to everything. Recruiting leads to licenses. It leads to production. It leads to you growing a business. It leads to everything. So that's where we start. That's our language. Massive recruiting. You have to go through what? The quantity to get to the quality. And as you get these recruits in, what do we put them through? The field training system. We are going to maximize on that bonus. As you get those 1x1s and 2x2s and 3x3s minimum in our base shop to go district, we're pushing them to go further. The bonus is unlimited. The bonus is unlimited. We're pushing individuals, go for the 10x10 challenge. We have a young woman, her name is Denise Mullins. We challenged her, go for the 10x10 challenge, and she did that. And now we're telling people, go for the Denise challenge, right? Run that bonus up and their production is coming, right? And we know with recruits, a recruit is going to be a product of the product, right? That's internal consumption. So as you recruit the masses, you're bringing in clients. They will eventually become your clients. That's going to increase what? Your production and promotions in motion. We know the first one is a district promotion. Sprint district. As you're pushing people to fight for their promotions, the production is going to increase. After district, we're pushing division. After division, we're pushing regional. And of course, what else are we pushing? Regional vice president. There are numbers that are tied to that, which is going to do what? Increase your production, okay? Now, client referrals. Steve, you talked about it a little bit earlier. Your active clients, right? Talk to them, get referrals. Everyone has what? A mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a friend. Ask your clients for referrals. We teach our people, don't you dare get off of that KT or that coffee appointment without asking for referrals. It is the lifeline of your business. Now you got an active client list that you can use too. Yes, go back and get your active client list, give them a call, thank them for being a faithful client. See how their lives changed. Did they add any children? Man, did they get married? Right now, we need to protect the spouse, right? Who do they know that they care about, need what we have? And listen to this one, you all, the terminated client list. Yes, we do work that play as well. Get your policies back on the books. Call your clients. Call them back. Life happens, we know that, but situations change. Call them back. Engage them, re-engage them, and see how we can help meet their needs to make sure that their families are always properly protected with us, okay? And then another one that we talk about is linking. Linking. We run the play on linking over and over and over, very similar to the client referrals. But for example, this is linking. I'm meeting with a family. Okay, Jane, we were able to take care of you, and I know you're excited. But Jane, who do you know and care about so much that if something were to happen to you, happen to them, you would be devastated because you never sat with them. And then they say, oh, my sister, Lisa. Okay, Lisa, I'm going to call Lisa, schedule an appointment. I'm going to try to meet with her ASAP. I met with Lisa. Now, Lisa, who do you know and care about? And you can link and link and link and link, and that will increase your production. Incentivize. Yuli talked about that. Incentivize. We incentivize our top producers every single month. Our newly licensed agents, we're pushing them to put their name on an app as we fight for our crusade to have 100 writing agents in our base shop, and we incentivize over and over. Prospecting. When you're out and you see a family with children, simply you can walk up there with your business card. Who handles your life insurance outside of your employer? Right? I would love to compete for your business. 15, 20 minutes of your time just to show you what I can offer you. Prospecting, right? And a compliment. I tell people all the time, when prospecting, lead it with a compliment. It costs you nothing, but it can pay you a lot. Remember, a compliment. It can cost you nothing, but it can pay you a lot. So hello, you look beautiful. May I talk to you for a second? Very, very simple. And as I'm talking about the plays in the playbook, I want to shout out a few of the Titans that are on my team running these plays and running it up. We have Kenny and Tammy Carter. They are almost at $20,000 in team premium. We have Denise Mullins and Jamie Jackson. They're almost at $27,000 in team premium. We have Rihanna and Clarence Hubbard. They are almost at $28,000 in team premium. And then we have Rochelle Maddox. She is almost at $34,000 in team premium. We're going to continue to run these plays. Glenn, I am honored to be a Titan, and I'm letting you know that the bold ones in a dynasty, we will do our part as we surge to 150 billion in face amount. Now, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce to you all a giant in my eyes. I was like, Lord, I get an opportunity to introduce this individual. It's a total honor. Listen to this. He started in 1974 with Waddell and Reed. My presentation, I started in 1977. He started in 1974. In his home is where they coined the name A.L. Williams, in his home. Wow. He's the first expansion RVP out of Georgia. Wow. And listen, he's an author of 4 books going over the history of the beginning of the entire company. $1 Million Earner, Circle of Champions winner, the one, the only, the infamous Mr. Bill Orender. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Damirra. What a nice thing to have said about you. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the Virginia Carter Award. Obviously, Virginia is very near and dear to my heart, being the one that recruited me, built me into what I am today. Congratulations, Yuli. You did a great job. Thank you, Steve. You did a marvelous job. I'm so glad you're in charge of this side of our business. The point I want to make today is, what business are we in? And we got to go back to the original founding of our company to realize that we're born and bred in the insurance industry. We wanted people to be receiving monies way beyond what the life insurance industry was going to give them. You know, Art Williams built a whole company on retribution, basically, to what they did to his mama. You know, his father had a $10,000 whole life insurance policy. And then when he died, Art found out that he could have had $150,000 of life insurance, but they didn't. So his mother ended up stocking shelves in a drugstore for a living because she has never worked outside the home. That Art said, I have never forgiven him. I can't forgive him to this day. But the thing that people don't look at was, you know, for the same premium, he was getting $150,000 of life insurance protection. But the point is, his mother didn't get 150, she only got 10. We're really not in the life insurance business. We're in the death claim paying business. Art wanted to start a company that would pay death claims, more death claims per sale, per client, than any of the other industries, insurance companies out there. And I love it when I sit down with a brand new rep that maybe wrote his first life app, and I'll say to him, when do you think you'll pay that death claim? And they're all the same. Oh, one of these days. I said, no, that's not the way you got to look at it. You got to think they're going to be dying tomorrow, and we're going to be paying a death claim tomorrow. And if not, wait till you think they're going to die and then rush over there and say, I think you're going to die. Let's get a life insurance policy on your life. But we sell death claims because widows and orphans don't want a life insurance policy on their husband. They want a death claim when he dies. So we have to understand that once you're going to be measured in your business life by how many death claims you paid, not how much annual assets under management, not how many RVPs you have, how many death claims did you pay, because that is the end result of everything that we do. And what I'm about to show you right now has never been shown in the history of our company, ever. I've been on the bandwagon for about 2 years now to get these numbers, and we're starting to get these numbers now that will show you the difference we make in people's lives because of the sheer numbers of it. It's one thing, well, I helped a client and they had 50,000, then he died, we got 300,000. But when you start seeing these numbers, and if we can pull that number, those numbers up, Hope, look at these numbers. These are the actual death claim numbers of these hierarchies. Let you get your head around that for a second. Now, this is not everybody, obviously. I want to make some points. Bob Wieson in red have 172,000 death claims they paid. If you're a competitor, I'm a competitor. Great, let's start beating some of these numbers. 172,000 death claims were paid under the hierarchy of Bob Ian Red Wieson. Can we pull that back up, Hope, again? I'm going to talk about this for a second. Yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles and all the teams played yesterday, and they had like 60,000 people in a stadium. Imagine 3 stadiums filled with people all getting a death claim check. That's the power. When I think you should show this at your opportunity meeting. Here's what we do for people. Oh, you're just one of those companies. Yeah, look what we've done. Bob Safford's hierarchy, 117,000. Bob Turley's hierarchy, 71,000. Mike Tuttle, 70,000. Wydell, 42. Rusty Crossland, 30. Virginia Carter, 26. Andy Young, 14. We paid almost 13,000 in our hierarchy, and we're paying 2 death claims a day, every day. So it's not a matter why you're recruiting, why you're building. You're just in it to make money. This is an RVP business. You're right. But the end result's got to be we pay death claims. We don't sell life apps. We sell future death claims. That's why group insurance doesn't pay off very many. Why? Because most people aren't around. When you buy a policy, you're going to be sure we're going to be giving them a death claim. I want to point out a couple of people. The bottom there is Manny Blankson. He's from South Chicago. Manny has never earned more than $100,000, maybe $125,000 a year in his career. He's not a big guy, not a big hitter, never walked the stage, never got a trophy. But look what he did. Over 400 death claims he's paid in his Primerica career. Think about that for a second. How many have you paid? How many death claims have you paid? How many death claims do you want to pay? You ready for this? I've got to go, Damirra. And I want you to text me, Damirra. How many death claims do you want to pay in your hierarchy in the next 30 years? I got a goal of 2 million. 2 million death claims in the next 40 years. Bill, you're not going to be around. The hierarchy will be. I might not be. But you take a look at those numbers. Guess what? They make the most money. No one's made more money in this company, Bobby and Red Buisson. Guess what? No one sells more mutual funds than Bobby and Red and Buisson. The one who sells the most death claims. They got the biggest hierarchies. They've got the biggest securities. They have the most RVPs. They sell the most mutual funds, most assets under management. And by the way, they got the most $1 million earners. The point I'm making is your business will thrive and not just survive when you have an end in sight. Why are we doing this? Because people die and they leave their family in trouble financially. Folks, I've been in people's homes. And when I first got into business, by the way, a guy died and I was going to drop off the money on my way to an appointment because that's the way. And you walk in there, you see the kids. You walk in there and then she said, let me show you some pictures. And with a trembling hand, she turns to the pages of the photos and of the family. And you realize how significant an event this is. There's 2 deaths in a family, the death of the individual and the death of their income. Folks, the problem that we have is we're disconnected. I wrote Life Apps last month. Look at the premium they did. They have a $30,000 premium this month, $40,000 premium this month. They made $500,000 last year. You see, and that is all well and good. But when we start connecting, we're in the death claim business. And Primerica wants to pay more death claims than any company out there. And it takes us. And how do you do it? You got to recruit a lot of people. But remember this. Unless we connect the heart with what we're doing, Art Williams says what? You win with your heart, not your head. And for some reason, when the guy had a whole life policy, oh man, that's great. He had a 10 and we could give him 150. We've connected. But when they have nothing, when they don't have any life insurance, we have a hard time thinking about the difference that we're making in people's lives. James 1:27 says a true and genuine religion is taking care of the orphans and the widows in their distress. For there's nothing more noble than delivering a death claim check to a widow. And we had a guy one day said, Bill, I'm going to start making some money and help some people. I said, go out today and everybody you meet, say to them, can I quote you on an extra $100,000 of life insurance protection? Just an extra 100. You don't do an F&A, you don't do a dime, you don't do any of it. He wrote 3 life apps that day, Damirra. 3 life apps in one day. You just want to give people more life insurance. You don't have to give them all they need. It'd be nice if you gave them all they need and the husband got 300, the wife got to, wasn't that great? But what if the wife just got 100,000 on her life? What if every day we wrote a $100,000 policy every day of the week, right? And some of those would be bigger than that. But we got to remember that unless we can take the empathy we feel for widows, folks, my heart breaks. I mean, and I get emotional thinking that we didn't get to all these people. There's people out there we haven't gotten to yet. Yeah, you're thinking, look at all the people we helped, 172,000. Let's look at the millions we never got to because we didn't have enough people out in the field recruiting and talking to other people. So it's got to come from the heart. It's got to be soulful. We've got to humble ourselves. Yes, I'm in the insurance business. I pay death claims, and I'm proud of it. Our hierarchy has paid $1.8 billion in death claims. I'm proud of that. But the 1.8 doesn't really, I don't understand it. The 13,000 death claims we paid, I get that. Those same people would have died, Damirra and Yuli, but they get 1.8 billion. But if it hadn't been for us, our hierarchy, me recruiting, me building, me wanting to be an RVP with RVPs who have RVPs who have RVPs, that never would have happened. Life insurance gets sold in the process of building hierarchies. Art Williams created that system. Those same people would die, they get 1.8 billion with us. But without us, they probably would have gotten 300-400 million. It should be in the front page of the newspaper. They made $1 billion difference in the lives of people at the stroke of a pen. We should have a monument made in America to the fact that how many widows we helped. Where do you think a lot of our mutual fund business is coming from in America today? Where do you think it's coming from? A lot of those debt claims. You know, we pay as a company $1 billion, 1.2 billion a year in debt claim money. Why isn't that on the front page? We're the ones out there doing it. You ask anybody, Damirra, name one person you know that sells life insurance. They don't know anybody. If it's not going to be sold by us, it's not going to be done. And Hope, could we have that next PowerPoint, please? You can have life insurance without love, but you can't. Can you have life insurance love without life insurance? Can you have it without life insurance? No. I love you, honey. You mean the world to me. You matter to me. Great. How much life insurance do you have? Well, I don't have any. Matter means this. You can count on me. I'm the protector. I'm the provider. No matter what happens in life, whether I'm alive or dead, I'm going to ensure that you're going to be taken care of. That's what that does. But the first people we got to get it is ourselves. We're not financial advisors. We're not financial. We're what? We market death protection. I'm not even insurance business. I get widows' checks. The next one, please. Will Rogers, a famous man from yesteryear, famous actor and comedian, a person who dies without life insurance should be made to come back and see the mess they left behind. Folks, we got to be telling people this story. We got to be showing that to all our appointments. And the last one there, you don't buy life insurance because you're going to die. It's because your family is going to live. We've got to get it in our heads. I'm not going to die. That's why I don't need any life insurance. No, but they're going to live. And life insurance is appropriately cost. I mean, that's why it's so cheap. If you knew you were going to die, would you give us $100 to get $300,000 of life insurance protection? Of course you would. Life insurance is never wasted because it buys one thing that you cannot buy anyplace else: peace of mind. Then when she or the kids put their head down on that pillow, folks, I have seen it. I've seen widows having to go back to work, having to take a second job, having to take their children. Husband and wives die in a common accident, and they take the 3 children and have to split them up. The children will never be in one home. They'll have to be split up. The best way to understand life insurance is if you and your husband die in a common accident, what's going to happen to your children? Folks, you win with your heart, not your head. It's not apps. It's death claims. And say you got to make a goal. How many death claims do you want to pay in the career that you're going to have? And that will determine, by the way, you cannot. Bobby Buisson didn't pay 172,000 death claims recruiting 2 people a month. You said it, Damirra and Yuli, it's all recruiting. Art Williams found a better way to build a company, a better way to deliver death claims to family. It's by recruiting and letting them share it with their friends. Folks, I'm so proud of Glenn. I'm so proud of his leadership. I'm so proud of the vision he has for this great company. But we're going to even do a bigger job than that. Because once we connect, recruiting is bringing us to families where we're going to pay death claims, and our lives will all be different, and so will theirs. God bless everyone. Thank you for having me on. Thank you, Steve, and the whole team that you have. I pray every day for Glenn. I pray for Peter. I pray for Julie, and I pray for Bobby. God bless you all. Thank you for having me.